O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 13 years running.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly reporting from Los Angeles. And in the What the Heck Just Happened segment tonight, we begin with New Jersey Governor Christie. The Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, will hold a convention later this month in Washington. Almost all the big Republican names are going to be there, but not Christie.
I didn't know that I hadn't been invited to CPAC until like 2 days ago when I saw it in the news. So, yeah, apparently I haven't been invited. Listen, I wish them all the best. They're going to have their conference. They're going to have a bunch of people speaking there. They don't want to invite me. That's their call.
All right, joining us now from New York to react, Bernard McGuirk and Greg Guteld. So, Guteld, you can sympathize with the governor because you're very rarely invited anywhere yourself. Isn't that correct?
That is true. And usually by payback, I will throw myself a party and then invite nobody. And that makes me feel a lot better. Look, this story to me is a joke. Most people in America don't know what CPAC is. To them, it's a 3-day course in antibiotics. And the fact is, the left loves this kind of political infighting. But it really, I mean, it's too low to be even political inside baseball. It's more like inside lacrosse. This is not a big deal. It's just a big deal to people who want to paint the Republican Party as falling apart.
All right. Now, McGuirk, do you believe that the governor is a conservative? Is Christie a bona fide conservative?
I certainly do believe that. I think it is a mistake, and I think it is important. It's a stunning turnaround. I mean, he was the Tea Party darling just 6 months ago, gave the keynote speech at the Republican National Convention. I don't think anything like this has happened since Hollywood turned its back on Fatty Arbuckle, the late, great Fatty Arbuckle, I must say. A long time. And why? Because Governor Christie embraced Obama during Hurricane Sandy and then criticized the Republicans who botched the Sandy Aid bill, which they eventually passed. Now, this guy speaks their language on the biggest threat facing our country, which is the debt, the deficit, spending money we don't have. And to throw him overboard is a total mistake. It would be like Fox News disowning Bill O'Reilly because he shows a little love to Jon Stewart once in a while. You are a winner. Christie's a winner. They're making a big mistake, in my opinion.
All right. I like that analogy there, McGuirk. That was brilliant.
I think
did
you
Gutfeld write that for you?
You have a no. Oh, that's good. Thank you for that. You have a lot in common with the big guy, Governor Christie.
Yeah, I don't know physically whether we do, but certainly in our style of confrontation.
Indeed.
All right, now Dennis Rodman, we know him, we love him. He's a former basketball player, kind of walks to a different beat kind of guy. He plays for the Harlem Globetrotters now, McGuirk, and as part of their world tour, he's in North Korea, and he kind of likes it in North Korea, and he likes the dictator there. Roll the tape.
His grandfather and his father were great leaders, and he's such a proud man. As a young kid, a Cuban kid, guess what? He's so awesome, and he loves his wife so much. He's proud. His country like him, not like him, love him, love him. And guess what? Yes, I love him. I love the guy's awesome.
All right, the next MSNBC commentator, Dennis Rodman. I mean, you can't take this seriously, can you?
No, you cannot. But it is, in a sense, it's obscene because they're humanizing this clearly well-fed despot whose population is just starving to death. And I don't really blame Dennis Rodman. He's sort of like a useful idiot in this whole thing. Remember Lenny from Of Mice and Men? He's like Lenny with a nose ring and tattoos. I mean, he's just not, he's a clueless, skanky pawn in this whole thing. I blame the HBO executives, the bottom-feeding HBO executives for putting him out there. Dennis Rodman doesn't know the difference between Hong Kong and Pyongyang, and that there was a Korean War at all. They asked him if he wanted to go see the DMZ. He said he watches TMZ all the time, and he loves Harvey Levin. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's the HBO executives.
And there's a rapper named DMZ. You might have got confused with that. Now, Gutfeld,
DMX.
So, I'm sorry, DMX, Z, Y, whatever it is.
Straight out the hood right here, yo.
So, McGuirk's giving Rodman a pass, Gutfeld.
Well,
How about you?
No, I think the media has this thing all wrong. Rodman's actually a hostage. But the North Koreans don't get it. If you're going to take a hostage, it's got to be someone that we want back. And that's why nobody's bothering to get Rodman back. We need to send all of our pointless celebrities to North Korea because we don't appreciate them here. They appreciate them there. Call it the has-been exchange program. We could send, for example, we could send Andy Dick to North Korea, and in exchange, we don't have Andy Dick. See how that works out? It's perfect.
So it's a good deal for them because they don't have to give up anything, and they don't really have much to give up.
Yes.
I feel a little sorry for Rodman. I think that the guy's allowing himself to be used. Not that he cares, but, you know, he clearly doesn't know anything.
What is the point? Bill Clinton went over there. He rescued 2 pretty girls, and, yes, there was a happy ending, and that was all good. Now, if in this case he turns this fat little jerk around, then we'll applaud him. Then let's send Gary Busey to Syria to hang out with Hafez Assad. Send Mike Tyson to Iran. But it's not going to happen. Yes, he's a pawn. He's being used. He's getting paid. That's what it is. And
yeah, he's getting paid.
He's getting exploited. That's what he is.
All right, we're going to have more with Guteld and McGuirk in a moment. A very controversial story on the docket. Are some American women overweight because they are doing less housework these days? Whoa, don't blame me. This is a study. Factor will be right back from California. Back in the book segment tonight, we continue now with What the Heck Just Happened. New study out of the University of South Carolina has concluded that some American women are chubby because they're doing less housework than women have done in the past. 1965, for example, American women spent an average of 26 hours a week doing housework. By 2010, that had dropped to just 13 hours, half. Here now, once again, Guteld and McGuirk. All right, McGuirk, I assume you don't do any housework at all.
That's not true.
No, are you? Yeah, Saturday you're kind of dusting.
No, I'll throw stuff in the garbage now and then. You know, I'm a good guy like that. But you know what?
All right, so the average woman does 13 hours of housework a week. How many do you do?
About 13 minutes. Okay, you got me, Bill.
13 minutes.
You got me, Bill O'Reilly. But this
I just wanted to establish credibility on this issue. Go ahead.
Yes, no, I don't do much housework. This confirms what I've always thought, that Zumba classes are no substitute for swinging a mop and washing windows. That's all I'm saying. And, you know, the study was actually just a clumsy attempt to say people should be more active. But I would add that there is something attractive about watching a woman clean a house. At least Arnold Schwarzenegger thought so. But I don't know. The New York Times. This is like straight out of the 1950s. This thing from the New York Times. There's a war on women from the New York Times. This is ridiculous.
Guteld. You remember that TV show Hazel? Remember that, Hazel?
I'm not 65.
She was hot.
No,
maybe the reruns of Hazel.
No, I remember Alice from the Brady Bunch. How's that?
All right. Well, no, Hazel was rotund, Shirley Booth.
Yes.
All right, and she was like doing housework like crazy.
Yeah.
On NBC.
Any activity above sedentary lifestyle will burn calories. That's what they're saying. But they knew that the media would pick this up by inserting the housework clause, because they knew then that Jay Leno would do this as a bit tonight, which he probably will. But women should do more housework. So should men. Housework is the most relaxing thing you can do. I do it all the time, usually in a French-made outfit. I get $300 an hour. Downtown. It's true.
I give you $500 an hour, never to mention that image again.
That was TMI.
Okay?
And I will take that.
Right, and by the way, I will be on Leno tonight, and I'm going to stop him from doing any kind of offensive material about the South Carolina study. Go ahead, McGuirk.
I'm just saying, Mr. Hollywood, Bill O'Reilly, you were at the Vanity Fair party, the Laker game last night. I'm surprised you're not sitting there with sunglasses on doing this thing this afternoon. But
no, I bought a lot of chains out when I was out here, so I'll be wearing them later on. All right, now, as you guys know, Gangnam Style with this chubby South Korean guy who doesn't do enough housework. If he did, he'd be more slender. That was huge.
You know he's not a North Korean.
No, he's a South Korean guy. And now there's something called, let me get this straight, the Harlem Shake. Roll it.
The Harlem Shake.
Now, apparently, Guteld, that was a Frontier Airlines flight that actually happened, and now everybody's looking on the internet, right?
This actually angers me. Travel is designed to get you from point A to point B. You have no idea what mood people are in on that flight. If you start standing up and dancing, I should have the right to punch you in the face. By the way, these are guys from a Colorado Frisbee team. That makes it even more heinous. They should toss these people out the baggage door and watch them sail across the sky. Because I'm on a plane. I hate flying. I got to be medicated. I don't like people complicating matters by being wacky. Oh, good for you. You're wacky.
By doing the Harlem Shake. I have to say, as somebody who knows Harlem fairly well, those people would be beaten to a pulp if they ever tried that north of 110th Street, McGuirk, if you know what I'm talking about.
No, without a doubt. This video should be called Shakes on a Plane, by the way. Apparently the seatbelt sign went off and the Act Like a Moron sign went on. Listen, this is no joke. This is on a plane. These guys, instead of doing the Harlem Shake right now, they should be doing the Jailhouse Rock. I mean, terrorists could use this. They could do the Tehran Twist, the West Bank Wiggle, or the Baghdad Boogie, and the next thing you know, all hell's breaking loose. You know, the air marshals don't know what the hell to do. It's a disaster, and it's offensive, and people should seriously be locked up if the crew was complicit in all this stuff. I agree with Greg. I want to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
No, the airline was complicit. If you want to do the Harlem Shake on the airline, you got to pay them $5. See, everything costs money, so you can dance, but it's $5 a head. All right, there it is. Guteld and McGuirk, everyone. Once again, I apologize for the segment. On deck, the